Hi, I'm Brittany Reisner, and today I'm going to talk to you about the importance of giving mothers RhoGAM. RhoGAM, Rho-D immunoglobulin, RIG all stand for the same thing. It's an important injectable drug physicians will give Rh-negative mothers to help prevent them from making anti-D, which would then cross the placenta and potentially harm their unborn child. Okay, so let me explain what this all means. Let's start off with blood types though. You have a negative mother. That means she is missing the Rh or rhesus factor, which is also called the D antigen on her erythrocytes, which are red blood cells. So if you're missing the D antigen, then that means you can make antibodies to it because you don't have it. So if you ever come in contact with it, your body would see it as foreign and produce antibodies to remove that substance from your blood. So if you have the D antigen, you cannot make your own antibodies because then you would be having internal agglutinations which could potentially kill you. So next, if we have a Rh positive baby and the baby has that D antigen, like I just said, the baby cannot make its own natural anti-D because why would it? It has a D antigen. It's natural. It's not a foreign item to that baby's immune system. So then we have RhoGAM. RhoGAM is a form of anti-D. This means that it contains antibodies to the D antigen. So let's recap real quick. We have a negative mother with no Rh antigen on her cell, so no D. You have an Rh positive baby with the D antigen. And then we have RIG, which is antibodies to the D. I know it makes no sense, but let me put it into a scenario for you. What happens when you have a Rh negative mother with a Rh positive baby and it's her first pregnancy? This is the first, not the second or third. During birth, what will happen is some of the baby's blood will mix with the mother's. So you have those positive Rh baby cells in the mother's immune system. She sees that as foreign. So what will happen is her immune system will then make anti-D, antibodies to the D antigen that is not normal to her immune system. So now that she's produced these antibodies, during her next pregnancy, her second, third, or fourth one, they will stay with her throughout her life. Those antibodies will then cross the placenta, and since they are IgG class 4, which is the only immunoglobulin that can cross the placenta and from mother to child, these antibodies will then go in and attack those Rh positive cells in utero, and that baby will come out with having HD, which is hemolytic disease of the newborn. This can cause jaundice, heart failure, and anemia. And in severe cases, it can cause death and even require in utero transfusions. Now let me explain how RhoGAM comes into play. During the mother's first pregnancy, when the blood mixes with hers, a physician will order a fetal hemoglobin stain, which will help quantitate how much of the fetal cells are in the mother's immune system. From there, we can take a vial of RhoGAM, determine how many antibodies we need to help try to cover up all those new Rh positive cells, those antigens, because we don't want the mother to become sensitized to that D antigen. Because if she does, like I said, during her next pregnancy, the baby will have HDN or require transfusions to help prevent the baby from being sick when born. So what we do is, like I said, RhoGAM is an artificial antibody that we have created, and it will go into the mother's system. It will bind up all those antigen foreign cells, and it will not make the mother have an immune system reaction, and so she will never make her own anti-D. So, in a review, what RhoGAM does is we inject the antibodies into an Rh negative mother so she doesn't form the antibodies to the antigen, and then therefore she can continue to have children without the fear of losing them or having an hemolytic disease of the newborns happening throughout her life and her children's baby years. So also what you've learned is the first pregnancy that sensitizes the mother. That's why it's so important to give that mother that RhoGAM the first time she has a child. Because after she's already had her first child, and if it's an Rh positive baby, she's sensitized for the rest of her life. So every child after will always have that problem if it's an Rh positive baby again. If it's an Rh negative baby, the baby won't have any problems because again, that baby doesn't have the antigen on its cells. So if the anti-D crosses, no problems there. RhoGAM is truly an amazing item, and I actually hope that you learned a little bit about why we give it and what it is. So if you're a Rh negative mother and you're asked to get some RhoGAM shots, you know it's really good for you, and I encourage you to get it. My references are what I learned in college and my experiences in my workplace here at St. David's Hospital in Austin, Texas. And also I use the RhoGAM website. Thank you.